friends, family, and fellow graduates, as I stand before you, I'd first like to say how honored I am to be representing Whitehouse High School as the salutatorian for the distinguished class of 2016. Before I start, I'd like to say this speech isn't about defining who you are or doing what you love or anything like that, but I do apologize in advance for the amount of bad jokes and pop culture references that are mentioned in the speech, so you've all been warned. Well, graduates, we made it. First, I would like to congratulate all of you for surviving through these past 4 years here at WHS, despite all of our world's dangers, like the parking lot, Twitter beef, facial acne, and yik yak, just to name a few. So how about a round of applause? In the last 4 years, we've seen our athletics programs win numerous district championships, our various student organizations compete at national levels, and in my opinion, I'd say we're the best looking out of any class at WHS. Over 3 years ago, all of us sitting here in front of me walked into this building, marched right into this gym to get our schedules, and thus high school began. I'm sure we can all remember that first class, that first lunch table, first pep rally, and the first football game, and of course, the first time you tripped while walking up the stairs. Those things are dangerous. We really did indeed start from the bottom, and now the whole team's here. For your parents, that was a Drake reference. And now look at us, sitting next to each other here, wearing some ridiculous caps and gowns, about to receive our diplomas and finally get out of this place. Throughout our time here, it seemed like there was no light at the end of this tunnel, and high school would go on forever while we did the same things day in and day out. However, we, the class of 2016, have seen a lot of changes. I mean, just think about how many dance moves we've gone through. First we had yeet, then the whip, the nay-nay, the quad, and now we have dabbing. We've scrolled through countless trends and memes on Instagram and Twitter. We've danced to Cotton Eye Joe and the Cha-Cha Slide for what seems like 20 times now at every single school dance. Nevertheless, as a class, we've also seen many great traditions passed down. During every football game, whether we were winning or not, we always came so close to losing our heads during drumline. We inhaled pounds of baby powder. We listened to Patrick Ray's animal noises. And of course, we had our post-game Whataburger runs. But aside from all that, we must also remember the relationships we've built with one another and the good times we've shared. My favorite quote from The Office comes from Andy Bernard, who once said, "I wish there was a way to know that you're in the good old days before you've actually left them." Not to say that the good old days are over for any of us, but I want each of you to cherish the moments we have with our friends and family before we realize that the time has passed. Graduates, reflecting back on our high school experience is quite important, but equally important is it for us to prepare and look towards the future. Graduation is a time for us to celebrate our achievements and also be excited for the next chapter in our lives. Although life after high school might seem a little scary, I know that each and every single one of you have the tools to be successful in whatever you do. Some of us will move out and go to college, some will start working and become independent young adults, and some of us will continue to go to all future Whitehouse sporting events. Super seniors, you know who you are. Finally, now the time has come where we won't have to memorize the quadratic formula or learn the parts of a plant cell, but it is time to show that we've grown up. Well, for some of us at least. Unfortunately, we won't always have mom and dad there to help bring us lunch when we forget it. We won't always have a dryer fire to save us from going to class. And we won't have Colin Bullard and Bryce Hand there to sing their rendition of Breaking Free to cheer you up. Okay, maybe that last one was just me. But to you, the graduates of the class of 2016, as each and every one of you leave this place, remember the footprint you have left for those graduating from this school in the future, and be nothing but excited for the path ahead. Let me leave you with yet another quote from The Office. This one from none other than Dwight K. Schrute, paper salesman, assistant to the regional manager. Whenever I'm about to do something, I think, would an idiot do that? If they would, I do not do that thing. So, I challenge all of you to live life to the fullest, but of course, be smart about it. Before I go, I'd like to thank my teachers, especially Dr. Allen, Ms. Hood, and Ms. Brooks, Mr. Reagan, Ms. Chavarria, for their kindness and selflessness for wanting their students, myself included, to succeed. And I would also like to thank my family and friends who traveled across the country yesterday just to be with us today. So, class of 2016, I wish all of you nothing but the best and good luck.